Welcome to Marketing in Your Car, the podcast for funnel hackers everywhere. You are now part of a small group of underground entrepreneurs who are trying to change the world through the products and the services that we believe in. But because we don't rely on venture capitalists, we don't have financial safety nets. So we have to do things differently. We have to do things smarter. We do that through an art and a science we call funnel hacking. Now, this podcast will give you a glimpse at the daily life of a funnel hacker. So let's get started. Hey everyone, good morning. This is Russell Brunson. Welcome you today. Welcome to Marketing Your Car. Sorry, I'm stuttering. I'm actually on the freeway right now. Normally I do these things close to my house, and so it's a little less chaotic. But this morning I had to get up early, and I didn't get to bed last night till almost 2 o'clock because we got Winter Jones is in town and a couple other people, so I have a good excuse to pull all nights working on funnels. So we did last night, and then I didn't get this morning because we had a film shoot at 6:30 at this amazing location we found down in Nampa, Idaho. It's like this kind of out in the ghetto, and then you walk through the door, and it's this amazing building with like stone walls and like Christmas lights hanging from the ceiling, and it's amazing. It's a bunch of people who work for Disney, a bunch of animators in there, so it's like these super creatives. Whoa, crap! On the freeway. People stopping. Anyway, all these like amazing creative people in there that are building, I don't know, movies and animation and stuff like that, and a whole bunch of Macs and smart people, and it was really, really cool. So we filmed something in the basement there for Mark Joyner when we filmed his episode of Funnel Hacker TV, which is coming soon. We filmed the basement because it was like this really creepy, nasty basement, and we filmed the sales video for Mind Control Marketing in there, and it turned out so cool. But I remember I was like, oh, that upstairs was so cool, and someday I want to film in there. So we were filming the book promo video for Expert Secrets, and that's where we decided to film it at. So that's what we were doing this morning. So we got there super early, and we were trying to film before anybody woke up. And this crazy thing is, like, I went to bed at I think almost 2 o'clock, and my alarm went off at 5:15, and I had 2 alarms just in case. I'd slept through them both. Anyway, at 5:45 I sat up and I was like, what? And both my alarms I'd turned off, and I was like, oh my gosh. And so I had to freak out. I had to go run and like get ready and shower. I'm doing a juice fast this week, so luckily I didn't have time to eat because I couldn't eat. So then jumped in the car and raced down here, and I got here a little bit late. And then the guy who, I guess Brandon said that he forgot to RSVP and tell the guy we were actually coming, and so the dude like didn't show up. And so Brandon's like calling him at 6 in the morning, and anyway, luckily one of the employees showed up early and got us in. So we got in there and started filming, and sorry, I'm pulling off the freeway exit right now. So we started filming, and we only had like 30 minutes before like their entire staff and their team showed up for work, and so we had to like, kind of go fast. So we got everything set up, and anyway, it turned out really cool. I'm excited to see how it all turns out, but you guys will see it soon at expertsecrets.com when the book is all done. But that's what's happening. So now I'm heading back from there. I'm super tired, so I might go home and take a nap for a little bit because we have another long day today of amazingness and stuff we're building out. Not only are we trying to get the Expert Secrets funnel done this week, we're also trying to get Super Funnel, Exit Funnel, and a whole bunch of other cool things that all tie together for the whole launch. So anyway, that's a story for another day. But that's kind of what's happening. And yeah, so I had a message I want to share with you guys today because I thought it was interesting. I recorded a video yesterday, and I don't know about you, but I in Expert Secrets, I talk about like everyone needs to build an index of stories you're going to have, right? Because you never know when you're going to use them and how you're going to use them. And so a lot of times, like, this podcast is like a testing ground for me to tell a story. And then I tell stories at the office, and then I tell stories when I speak in like a million different places, right? And it's funny, Brandon, who's been filming me every day for the last like 2 years, he was like, dude, that was a new story. I've never heard that one before. I'm like, really? I've never told that? It's been in my inventory of stories forever, but apparently I never told it. And so it was basically a story about the day that I became a wrestler. So when I was growing up, my dad was a wrestler, but I was going to be a basketball player because that's what short white guys do, is we become basketball players, right? So every day I practiced basketball, and I knew that's what I was going to do, and I was going to be, and like I don't want anything else besides being a basketball player, right? And so that was kind of what I thought my future was going to be. And then my dad, though, was a wrestler growing up, and I guess I'd wrestled for like a year or two when I was, I don't know, like 5 or 6 years old, but apparently my parents said I hated it, so I dropped out of it, never was going to do it again. And then lo and behold, in 8th grade, as I'm pursuing my basketball career, and it was bad because, like, I remember Spud Webb back then was this little short guy who was shorter than me, but he could dunk, and I was like, well, Spud Webb can dunk, I can dunk, and I got taller than Spud Webb, and I still can't dunk. But that's a story for another day. Anyway, so I thought I was going to be a basketball player, and then one of my buddies, like 2 doors down from me, he went to wrestling practice, and he came home and started telling my dad, like, oh, I went to wrestling practice today. And my dad was like, what? There's wrestling practice here? I'm a wrestler? My son's going to be a wrestler. And so that was kind of what happened. Sorry, I'm driving and doing like 3 things, and like I keep dropping everything. So not what I should be doing. If you guys were watching me, I'd probably be getting yelled at by someone. Anyway, and so my dad was like, we need to go to wrestling practice, and he tried to get me. I was like, no, Dad, I'm a basketball player. Like, I'm not going to wrestle. Come on now. There's no wrestling in the NBA. How am I going to do this? And so, but finally my dad like forced me to go to wrestling because he's like, nope, we're wrestlers in this family. I'm like, what? I don't want to wrestle. But he kind of made me go. And so that was 8th grade. So 8th grade I went to wrestling, and I kind of liked it, but I was like, it's not basketball. Come on now. And so I just, I told my dad, I'm like, well, I'll wrestle right now, but, and the way it worked, school worked in Utah for me, 9th grade was basically junior high, and then 10th grade was high school. So 9th grade started, and I was like, well, I'll do wrestling in 9th grade, but my sophomore year I'm going off the basketball team because I'm a basketball player. My dad's like, all right, whatever. So 9th grade I started wrestling, and I started liking it, but not like loving it. And I remember my very first wrestle off. So the way wrestling works is it's kind of cool. It's not like the coach picks like where, you know, who's going to be first tier, second tier, all that kind of stuff. It's like you get to wrestle, and whoever wins wins. So they line up all the weight classes. There's like 5 or 6 people in my weight class, and then you have wrestle offs. So you wrestle everybody else to see if you're going to be first string, second string, third string. And so there's one dude who's really good. He was varsity, but there was a JV guy, and then there was a couple other guys, and there was me. And so we all got to wrestle. And the guy who had been JV the year before, I had him in a wrestling match, and I was like, I had no plans of winning. I just thought, you know, he's a high school kid. Like, he's a man, for crying out loud. I'm a little kid. And anyway, we wrestled, and I beat him. And the coach was like, congratulations, you're going to be JV this week. And I'm like, what? So yeah, you're going to be wrestling in the tournament. I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, so I go home to my parents. I'm like, yeah, I beat the guy in the wrestle off. My dad's like, what? I'm like, yeah, so I'm going to be wrestling this week. And so he was all excited, obviously, and told my mom and told, you know, everybody. And anyway, so fast forward now a couple days, and it was the wrestling tournament, wrestling Bingham High School. And I remember I get to weigh-ins, and you know, I'm a little tiny skinny 130-pound kid at the time, and so I get on the scale. You know, you strip down to your tidy whities, you get on the scale, and they look at your weight, and then the guy who I'm wrestling gets on the scale, and he steps up, and I look at him, and the dude had a mustache. Now, I don't know about you, but to this day, I can't grow a mustache. I'm still not quite manly enough to do that. He had a mustache, and again, this is in high school, and I was like, are you kidding me? Like, I'm a little kid. This guy in a mustache is gonna destroy me. Like, I was so scared. And so I remember after weigh-ins, like, we're getting warmed up, and I see my dad. I'm like, Dad, like, the guy I'm wrestling's got a mustache. My dad's like, why does that matter? I'm like, I don't know, but he's like a real man, Dad. I can't grow a mustache. And anyway, so I go out there in this match, and I go out there and I'm wrestling. I'm going through the whole match, and I'm wrestling this guy, and I don't remember much about the match. All I remember at the end is I won, and I stood up and I shook his hands, and we were looking at him in the face, and I was like, I just beat a dude who's got a mustache. And then the ref raised my hand, and as I raised my hand, my head went up, and I looked in the audience, and you know, it's the bleachers, and in the bleachers there's 2 people. There's my mom and my dad's standing up clapping. And that day I became a wrestler. I was like, this is the greatest feeling I've ever felt, ever. I never got that from basketball. I never got it from anything else. I'm like, I'm a wrestler. And that day I became a wrestler. And I was thinking about that. I was like, different parts of our life, like, we identify with different things, right? Like, for over a decade of my life, like, I was a wrestler. I still am in my mind. Like, I identify with that. Like, that's who I am. Like, at my core, there's a few things I am, right? Like, I'm a wrestler. I'm a Mormon. I'm a dad. I'm a husband. There's a couple things, and I'm an internet marketer. Like, there are things, right? 4 or 5 things that I really self-identify. And in each of those situations, like, I know the day that I became that person. I know the day I became a wrestler. I know the day that I became a Mormon. I know the day that I became an internet marketer. And it's when like you have that experience, and you're just like, dang, like, that feeling, I never want to lose that feeling again. That was the greatest feeling in the world for me. For my business, I remember when it was like, I got online and I was like trying all these things, and you probably heard my backstory a million times, but I was trying thing after thing after thing after thing, and like all sorts of stuff, and nothing was working. And I remember the very first time I'd created something, put it out there, and somebody bought it, and it was $20, and $20 came to my PayPal account, and I was like, dang. I remember coming home and telling my wife, because I had a PayPal credit card at the time. We had no money in our PayPal account, but I had a PayPal credit card, and someone bought me with $20, and for me as a college kid, $20 was insane. And I came home and I told Colette, I was like, we made our first sale. And she's like, what? You made a sale? I'm like, yeah, someone pays $20. And like, we were so excited. We went out to dinner that night, and like, we used my PayPal credit card, paid for dinner. And I mean, it wasn't like a fancy place. It was probably Burger King or something. That is my favorite restaurant. So I went to Burger King or something, and I think we went to a dollar movie. But it was like, I earned this. Like, this is something, to that point, like, my parents were supporting my whole life. I had summer jobs, but I was wrestling all the time, so I never had like a real job. And then I got married. My beautiful wife was supporting me. She was running 2 jobs. But the first time I was like, I created something that made money, and then like that night, that dinner, like that was mine. Like that was my gift to her. That was like, I created something that paid for that dinner, that paid for that movie, and like that night is when I became an internet marketer. Like I had that feeling. I was like, I love this feeling. I never want it to leave. I want that for the rest of my life. And then I became obsessed and passionate about it. And so for you, like, I'm curious, and I want you to think about it. Hopefully it'll be fun for you to kind of go back and think, but what was the day, think about whatever it is your business is, or the thing that you're so passionate about giving and serving and sharing with people. Like what was the day that you became that person, that you became a wrestler, that you became a marketer, that you became a fitness coach, that you became whatever it is for you? What was the day that happened? I want you to think about that. And that's my gift for you today, because as I thought about it yesterday, I was just like, oh, what a cool experience. Like it's just cool. And I hope that this gives you a minute to remember that time for you and enjoy it, because that feeling is what drives you now. Like you had that feeling once and you want it again and again and again. And so I want you to remember that, because it was interesting when Tony Robbins came to Funnel Hacking Live, he talked about like why we do things, and it all came down to basically we do things, like everything for humans is about a feeling. Like we want that feeling, we want to feel good, we want to feel loved, but it's a feeling. Like that's what we do everything. That's why people turn to drugs, they're trying to get a feeling. It's why people turn to love, because they want a feeling. It's why people turn to it's all about feelings. And sometimes we have a feeling, and that's what drives the stuff, but we forget about it, we don't think about it, I'm just remembering that feeling of me getting my hand raised yesterday. It was like, God, it felt good. And you forget about that. We're always racing for the next good feeling, but sometimes if you stop back and just think about the feeling you had that day, you became who you are, because that's the feeling you're chasing after every single day. That's honestly, that's the feeling that I chased for 12 years of my life while I was wrestling, was that feeling. That feeling of raising my hand, looking in the stands and seeing my dad, like that was the feeling. That's why I woke up super early in the morning. That's why I stayed up late at night. That's why I cut weight week in and week out, day in and day out for years. There's the reason I got my eyes cut open. I had stitches, I had blood, I had like the reason I sacrificed my body, my time, my energy, my effort, my everything was because of that feeling. And I wanted that again. And so what's cool about us as humans is if we'll stop and remember, we can get that feeling again. And so today, I want you guys to sit back and I want you to remember that feeling. And that's my gift to you. And just enjoy it for a little bit before you go chasing it again, because it's there and you can remember it and you can bring it back. So hope that helps you guys. It felt good for me today, and hopefully it felt good for you as well. And that's all I got. So I'm almost back to the office. I'm going to let you guys go. Appreciate you all. Have an amazing day, and talk to you soon. Bye, everybody. Thanks so much for listening. We hope you enjoyed the behind-the-scenes look at our funnel hacking projects. You can also watch the Funnel Hacker online reality show and watch us build and launch funnels live at www.funnelhacker.tv. If you'd like to come hang out with your fellow funnel hackers, come join our Facebook group at www.projectclickfunnels.com. Oh yeah, and don't forget, you can get a free MP3 player with the first 257 episodes preloaded at marketinginyourcar.com. Join us next time, and remember, you're just one funnel away from your dreams.